Columbus, Ohio. And this is Alexa and Chris. And I have, of course, their photograph here. I'm going to hang my iPad, and I have here. All right, so let me get a little smaller so you can see what's going on here. Am I just starting to broadcast now?
My iPad, and I have here.
I'm afraid that is correct. Sorry about that. All right, so I started this wedding painting 2 weeks ago. Here's my photograph of Chris. I've already done this with Alexa, so her face is beautiful and just about perfect. And as you can see, part of the torment here is that the portraits are so small. So here's the photograph of Chris. Hello, Michael. And I often do this, which is blow it up really big and trace in a hyper contrasty color. Just a little while ago, took a picture of my painting and put it in Procreate. So some of you, let me see, how can I show you what Procreate looks like? Well, I can show you the icon. There it is right there. Never mind, I'm not doing more than that. All right, so now I have superimposed the painting. Let's take the tracing out for a moment. So I've superimposed my painting over the photograph. Can you see that? So I'm sliding the contrast of the painting, which is on. There's the photo, painting, photo, painting, photo, painting, photo, painting. Now, let me add that, of course, I spent a fair amount of time and energy getting them lined up exactly. It won't. So that does take a little bit of work. But once that's done, all right. So this is not the first time I've done this on Chris's face. I've done probably 3 stages on Chris before today, and this will be the 4th. So I'm still a good ways off. You can see his mouth and chin are very close. His nose is medium, but his eye is quite out of place. Can you see his eye going up and down? So the tracing back on, but I'm going to make it a little less opaque. There we go. All right. So now my job is, and I'm quite OCD because Michael, you're exactly right. Small portraits are much harder than large ones. I was starting to say I'm very OCD, so I just, as a matter of habit, I start at the top and work down. You wouldn't start at the bottom and work out because, well, it's so small, it wouldn't matter, but you don't want your hand to get in the way. And please notice, all you, my faithful friends, I'm using tiny brushes and holding it with one hand only, and painting very carefully. All right, but I'm going to start at the very top, mixing up some, let me look at that. Oh yeah, and a little bit of oxide red. I'm sorry I don't have a third camera to go on my, well, I don't know, which of you do you guys want to see? I'll leave you there for just a minute. Oh, I'm actually changed my glasses and put on these 3.5 or something like that, 4X glasses. So they're like, it's like wearing, just about like wearing magnifying glasses on over your eyes. Which really does help. All right, so, and I'm not going to do this broadcast very long, because once you've seen the secret, which is my main purpose in showing you then there's not a whole lot of excitement after that. Okay, shave off a little bit off the front of his forehead. I don't remove all the hairs, but if they're in the face, if they're in the portrait area, I do typically. Still. That should do it. There we go, perfect. Test. There, are we back? Are we back? Testing 1, 2, 3. As I said, this is not very exciting at this point in the process. So I mostly wanted you all to see this trick. Things over the years with wedding paintings to capture the capture perfect. Well, I didn't used to do perfect portraits. My paintings used to be much more abstract. Every painting, the first 100 weddings that I did, I'm sure, I finished them on the spot, finished them before the end of the reception. Looking back, I don't know how I did it, but painting technique was noticeably simpler back in those days. Not as many layers. And of course, the big thing is I've now moved to a totally tight, realistic, accurate rendering of the faces. So that takes time, of course. So since I've switched to aid and help that process, and this is the latest using an iPad. All right, I'm gonna end this broadcast before everybody falls asleep. Let me see who else. Hello, Jane. Good to see me. Good to see you too. Good to see me again. Good to see you. It's just too boring to ask anybody to watch this again. If some of you joined in late,
it's just too boring.
I have a tracing on top of the photograph, and then a picture of my painting, the last layer, the last phase, the last stage. I'm way off on the ear, as you can see here, and the mouth and nose and the beard are pretty close, but of course I'll be perfecting those. His hairline was somewhat off, and his eye is off, so I'll be making all those changes, and then I'll see. This might be my last go round on their faces, or I may do another whole round. Before I go, let's talk about the rest of the painting just a little bit. Let me put these brushes down and move my iPad out of the way. I am okay with the rest of the painting, but I'm not thrilled with it. So I will be, Contier are a little stiff, both in their posture, and they're a little overdrawn. Do you know what I mean? They're over-rendered. They don't have, I'm not, so that's a fairly easy fix, but that needs to be done. I'm pretty happy with cake, table, and I'll see what else. I think all of this stuff up here also might just be a little bit too stiff. Positive. I like the glow, of course. That's very much on purpose. Around the bride and groom, the windows, as you see, get lighter as they get close to them. The wall behind them gets brighter, lighter, of course. At the moment, this is the bridal table, and at the moment I feel like it's just a little too flat. I'll probably change that and make that also grow lighter. The bride's dress, the wedding dress, does not have enough glow coming off it at the moment. I definitely want to soften this edge, and so on. But that'll be another broadcast. In the meantime, today my job is to get Chris's face right, and I won't ask you to watch me do that. Thanks for watching for a few minutes, and I hope. And there's the icon, Procreate. It's like Photoshop Lite. Anyway, that's enough. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again real soon. By the way, started a new channel. Maybe you've seen that. And most of my broadcasting from here on out, I'll still have this channel to do art with, but the other channel will be art, music, writing, God, the universe, and everything. And it'll be fun. Hope to see you over there. Thanks for watching. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks.